Well, good morning, Lionhearts. What an annoying morning it's been already. Little tip from me to you if you're a YouTuber or a vlogger, do not use any of the fixing options or fixing functions that YouTube provides. Whenever they've ever told me that my video was too shaky and I needed it fixed and I've done it, it makes the video worse. Yesterday they hit me with a copyright notice because of when I was walking around Clifton's cafeteria, some of the music. So they give you an option of replacing that section with either silence or replacing it with another uncopywritten song. So I did the silence. It took 45 minutes, and then when it gets done processing, a little blurb pops up that says, sorry, we weren't able to remove all the music. So then I click the function to replace it with a song. I click on the song, whatever. It takes another 45 minutes and I fall asleep. When I wake up, everybody's telling me, why is there no sound? Why is there no talking on your video? And I look, and they had replaced the entire video with music. So I had to wake up, re-edit the video, put in a different song covering up the music in Clifton's, get the video reposted. So I'm sorry if you wasted your time watching that video or you were wondering if I lost my mind with another experimental vlog. I didn't. That was a total accident, but hopefully we got it back on track now. I had re-uploaded that video and tried to make changes and corrections 5 times trying to get this thing to work. It's finally working right, so thank you. I'm gonna go drop Jaw off at Pollyanna's house. He's gonna play for a while, and I'm gonna go do a hike up Runyon. And I think today I might actually try and do Runyon twice, right in a row. And then we'll see where the day takes us. I'm not gonna be doing 6 live streams today or live chats, but I hope everybody enjoyed that yesterday. I know seemed excessive, but so many people have been commenting and complaining that they weren't able to catch me when I was doing them before, so I just figured, hey, if I do multiple ones today, it gives you multiple options or multiple chances to catch me, so I hope you got me. All right, Daze with Jordan the Lion, and this guy begins now. All right, well, it's not too awful hot out here today. The sun literally just popped out, so this is probably like the best time for me to go over and get a good hike in. And I wasn't just whistling Dixie the other day, guys. I do mean it. I think I'm gonna try and do it twice today. We'll see how I feel at the end of the first one, but I don't think it would be that hard. I probably should have brought a water, but I don't like carrying anything when I hike, and I've never gotten dehydrated, so I think there's enough in me that we can make this happen. Let's do it. Okay, the start of trip number 1. We'll see how we do. What's up, outpost sign? First time up wasn't so bad, honestly. Didn't need to stop. No worries. Now, the hardest part every single time that I've ever come out to Runyon, ever, in the almost 20 years, over 15 years, I guess. The hardest part for me is always the walk from the car to where the stairs start here. Everything after that's pretty easy. I know it generally wouldn't seem that way, but it's kind of one of those things, once you get your heart racing, it's not so bad. So I'm gonna fall in line with that idea, since even though I walked around downtown a lot yesterday, I feel like I took a day off, so I'm gonna double up today and make up for it. All right, down this beast. All right, 1 turn down. Let's spin around and do it again, folks. Here we go. Definitely not as easy as the first go round. Whew.
Unbelievable. Now you know. We all know. Part of the reason that I'm doubling up the exercise now is Michael sent me a text the other day saying he needed to know when was a good time for all the groomsmen to go to the fitting for their suits. And so I said, well, I'd like to put it off as long as possible, so I'll be closer to my actual weight and size when we have the wedding. Not my wedding, his, to Christina. I'm definitely starting to get jello legs. Whew. Oh yeah. All right, trip number 2 up here. Done. Good job, guys. Woo, buddy. That was a challenge. I did it, but it was definitely pushing the boundaries a little bit today. I'm glad I did it. Oh, done. I'm actually feeling it big time in my knees now after 2 times. Now that's the kind of carving your name into the cement I'm okay with. I never liked the initial plus initial with a heart around it or any of that stuff, but everybody needs a cement robot in their life. Everybody. Alright, I'm showered and let's go do some vlogging. Actually, I gotta go to 2 vlogs today because I just got booked to work tomorrow, so I gotta give you guys something for tomorrow. When I was a kid and you would have a sick day, there were certain shows that I always watched, and one of them was Family Feud. So I really came to love Ray Combs, and this was kind of the last hurrah for Ray Combs was at this home. See, he was like one of those lucky people in a weird way because he got to marry his high school sweetheart. They had known each other pretty much their whole life since they were like in elementary school. He, out of college, was offered a nomination to West Point, but he decided to go be a mission instead. And then when he came back from Arizona being a mission, he married her. And they had 6 kids. But in 1984, he didn't really like the life in Ohio. He was from Hamilton, Ohio, kind of where I'm from. That's like the Cincinnati area. He even had 2 comedy clubs later on in his life there, but they moved out here in 1984. He started doing stand-up comedy. He was pretty good at it. He was winning some competitions. And then the Johnny Carson show invited him on in '86, and he like blew up. Like, he got a standing ovation. And I mean, most of you know, Johnny is rarely wrong about talent. And Johnny saw the talent in Ray Combs, the likability, the charm. The guy he was really, really likable. So likable that the creators and the producers of the Family Feud decided to make him the new host of the Family Feud, and that's what he became known for. I mean, I knew him even, you know, because I'm a fan of Overboard, and he plays one of the like bailiff jailers in Overboard when Annie is lost at sea and they're trying to find who her husband is. But he ended up buying this house as soon as he got that $1 million a year paycheck from Family Feud. He bought this house and moved in here. But then 1994 hit, and it was a pretty bad year for the guy. The ratings for Family Feud were pretty bad, so they decided to fire him and bring back Richard Dawson. His comedy clubs both failed. They pretty much lost their home that they kept in Hamilton. The bank was starting to foreclose on this house. He was in a pretty bad auto accident that left him partially paralyzed for a while and left him in excruciating pain pretty much for the rest of his life. Sad way to go out, but he and his wife started the proceedings of a separation, which probably would have came up to a divorce as well. But he had to move out from here, of course, when they separated, got his own apartment, and then one night called her and just said he was depressed and he'd taken a bunch of pills and ended up in the hospital. And the next day, when he was supposed to get out of the hospital, he called her to pick him up and take him here. He wanted to be here where, you know, he felt comfortable with his family. And so she started to bring him here. He started to flip out in the car, jumped out of the car on the Ventura Freeway. A passerby picked him up. He ended up, contacting a friend. The friend went and picked him up, and Ray said, I want to go to this house. I want to come to my house. And he was going to confront his wife and like destroy the place. And the friend brought him here and then called the police and let them know what his plan was. And when the police got here, he had destroyed the inside of the place. He had been bashing his head up against the walls. And so they took him in for a suicide evaluation and to be treated in the hospital on May 31st. And June 2nd, even on a 72-hour suicide watch, Ray Combs took his bed sheets off, tied them together, hung it on his shower curtain rod inside the hospital, and hung himself. And with the Chris Cornell death happening recently, and we're finding out that Ativan is involved, and just the seriousness of what some of these prescription drugs are possibly doing to people. I mean, I'm sure he was taking prescription pills for the pain that he suffered from the paralyzing or the paralyzation. And then, you know, like I said, when he called his wife and told her that he had taken a bunch, that's what he took. And it's really sad that this poor guy's life ended the way it did. He's, I believe, buried in Hamilton, Ohio. And he will always be remembered from people in my generation. I think all of us will always equate the great Ray Combs to Family Feud and seeing him in Overboard high-fiving that doctor when Dean Prophet claims Annie. And this was the last home. Unfortunately, from everything I read online, the family moved out pretty much immediately after the death. He was in quite a bit of debt at the end, and unfortunately you have to assume that this was a suicide. I mean, he knew coming out here and destroying the house, and he knew how it was going to end. Ray Combs. Man, look at those Glendale skies. Pretty hazy out there. As I was leaving Glendale, I was just kind of thinking, you know, how sad is that? That guy killed himself at the age of 40 years old with 6 kids. Something just wasn't right. I've only been in this 99-cent store one time, and I was thoroughly impressed by what they had, and I am today. Wait till you guys see some of the crazy stuff they have. Well, for starters, solar-powered bobbleheads that are wrestlers and weightlifters and Guadalupe. Pretty out of the ordinary. And then they have David the Garden Gnomes. I'm calling them all David. That one actually kind of looks like him, but you have to have the, well, actually that's proper. That's what he really looked like. I'm not actually buying any of it, but I didn't say I wasn't easily amused either. Alright, this is all I'm getting. Dog bags and toilet paper. When I was driving over here, I passed by this, and I thought, hey, that looks familiar. I've been here before, I've vlogged this, and since I've already vlogged it and everything, and I was passing by, I thought just for a old time's sake, I'd show you guys Jackrabbit Slims from Pulp Fiction again. Right over Over here is where Vincent Vega would have had his car parked, and they would have walked straight on in. Alright guys, we're going to see if we can get him to battle. And then you set the trap. The trap is this. That is not fighting. Usually you come over here to fight. You don't want to fight? You want to wrestle? Usually, I lay right here. I get right there. Oh! You want me to fight you? Huh? Usually you are the aggressor. You're making me look like a bad guy here, attacking you. Playing possum? You playing possum? You playing possum? That's not much of a fight. I thought you were gonna fight. I thought you were gonna fight. I thought you were gonna fight. Ah! Ah! Come here. Well, I just did the laundry. Nice and warm, so he's a happy pup. I did record the vlog tomorrow, but I found out that where I'm working is in Sylmar tomorrow, and there's actually something I've been wanting to vlog in Sylmar, and I was actually thinking yesterday, like, oh, I keep forgetting about this one. I have it saved, but I keep forgetting about it, so if I get done in time, I don't know what time I'm supposed to be done. If I get done in time, I'm going to do that one instead. Look at that, a Jerry Garcia hat for Jaw. Well, Lionhearts, I got a bit of a surprise tonight. I went on Facebook and saw in the community forum that right over there in Griffith Park, right there at Ferndale, where I've shown you guys many times where I start my hikes, over there where that big creek is, they found a dead body over there, and apparently it's so decomposed that they couldn't even identify how long it had been there, but they said it had been over a month, so yeah, that's the world we live in. Doesn't sound like there's any foul play, but it's crazy that I was hiking over there all those times and never stumbled upon it, and I thought that's what Jaw was supposed to be there for, was to sniff stuff out like that, but yeah, kind of weird. I figured I would tell you guys since we're over there together so often, and wow, just a weird story. So hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Ray Combs was, man, he was a, I mean, great game show host. He was somebody that I, just like I said, I watched it all the time, and every time I had a sick day I always watched it, and I wanted to go over there and see the house, and man, it was another sad feeling, like another one of those houses that when you go to it, you can just kind of feel the sad vibes and everything. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you tomorrow. From your old pal Jordan the Lion in Hollywood, California. Good night.